we got sent out to a river in this same remote area that I spoke about earlier. And this was the first time I'd started working at this regional base. It was one of my first shifts there, and pick up a SAR job at 7:02 in the morning, 2 minutes after logging on for the day, and head out to the river. And it was the first time I really hadn't really rationalized what the aircraft was doing. This particular pilot was just a maestro. The aircraft was an extension of his fingers. He was just so impressive. Pleasure to fly with. And the crewman, as in the hoist operator, had probably more experience than the pilot. So this super experienced crew, they've been doing this remote star stuff for 30 years. And I was just this kind of this newbie, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And we've been told that there's 7 people we need to hoist out of this river.
Oh, sick.
And I'm like, oh, okay, righto, no worries. And it's an hour flight. So we go up and we come down, and I'm just kind of assuming this river obviously is at the bottom of a valley between 2 very large, big kind of regional mountains. We've got mountains in Australia, but they're not really by international standards, but they're big enough. They're 2,000 meters or so. So big mountains in our country. So yeah, but for me at the time, the realization of they just got so far down into the valley, I kind of just assumed that they would run the length of the cable to insert me, but they got right down onto the river and right down into obviously away from the survivors to make sure we weren't going to injure them. But it was just this incredible learning experience to watch these 2 super experienced people, collectively 60 years of doing this stuff in really remote terrain. And it was just listen and learn. And you ask all the questions later. You're like, oh, I didn't really realize. But anyway, we get down there. There's 2 kayakers who've injured themselves pretty nicely going down a waterfall, and they've got broken bones all over the joint. So we've got to get them up to the aircraft. But a ground party had gone in and overnighted with them, and so they were the other 5. They're all fed. They've started a campfire. They've all eaten. A couple of paramedics, a couple of police officers, and a search and rescue specialist. And they've gone in there. They're all cool. They're in full Gore-Tex and Polartec. They're good as gold. These other guys are still in their wetsuit from kayaking, and so the 2 were quite injured. And we go, no worries, we'll get those guys out. And then the other 5 just wanted a ride home. And I'm like, it was, again, for me as a junior, I'm like, I don't really know. Is this what we do? Do we hoist another 5 people up to the aircraft to give them a ride home because they don't want to walk out? And the weather was good and all the rest of it. So it was a good learning experience for me. And I said, look, I think you're actually able-bodied. You enjoy your walk. I'll catch you later. So so we sent them on their way, much to their disappointment, and it was only always the 2 in the end. But it was just that phase of my career where I learned so much from people who've been doing it before. And it was all this stuff that was a revelation to me that was new, and just remember lapping up all this information from just learning how to do jobs well, doing how to do them safely and to the best of your ability. And sometimes you're just in awe of watching people who are experts at their job.
Bro, that's awesome. Oh, get 2 guys that are all jacked up. Hey, can we take a ride? Yeah, no, you can't.
No,
sorry.
No.
Enjoy your walk.
You can't just kind of, you can't draw a little pros and cons or risk analysis in the dirt for them and go, look, here's the risk of hoisting another 5 people into that 412, and here's the risk of you walking out of here. So just send them on their way.
Oh, that's great.